First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming out and covering Penn State football like always. I want to give the 2005 championship team that was honored today, their credit and their respect. Obviously, having AZ, who was a captain on that team on our staff, is really cool. And then the crowd was great tonight. Had a great crowd. We appreciate the support that we have gotten up to this point. You look at the game. The one turnover, that one drives me crazy because although it wasn't as clean as I'd like it to be, and I think we make it harder than it needs to be at times, I do think we're playing winning football. On that one, we had a missed assignment, and you can't let one bad thing turn into two bad things. So overall, I've been pleased with how we're playing. We won the turnover battle, we won the explosive play battle, we won the third down battle, we won the sack battle, we won the field position battle, we won the penalty battle, and we won the middle 8. So all those things are positives that we got to build on. I thought our defense significantly took a step this week. Just more confidence, more command, more control of the defense, especially from our safeties and linebackers that are kind of running the show. So that was important going into this bye week. I think Ryan Barker's been really consistent and positive all year for us. That's going to be important for us. With Nick Singleton with 2 rushing touchdowns, moves into 3rd all-time at Penn State in rushing touchdowns. It was cool to see Joey Schlaffer get his first touchdown catch. I know you're all over that. Yeah, so really, really happy for him. We talk about everybody's journey being different, and I was very, very happy for Joey and his family and for that opportunity that he got, and he maximized it. And then I thought the Jamir Joseph interception was as big time as it gets. Not only making the play, but then obviously turning into an offensive player once the ball was in his hands. So a lot of positives to build on. This bye week is obviously going to be really important. This is not an off week by any means. Tomorrow we will practice tomorrow night, which is different for us to get into Beaver Stadium because we have new lights that we have not been up. We have not been in the stadium with all of the new lighting up. So we will do that tomorrow night. And then we'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is our typical bye week schedule. And the guys will have the weekend off Friday, Saturday. The coaches will be out recruiting. And then we'll get into a traditional game week the following Sunday. Obviously, we'll have the advantage of not having to break down the previous game and not make corrections in practice, so we'll be a little bit ahead. But we need to get better. We need to get better on Tuesday. We need to get better on Wednesday. And then we need to be able to come in to next week in a really good place with a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous challenge in front of us. So open up the questions.
Mark and then Rich.
James, can you assess where you are through 3 weeks going into this bye, kind of a big picture view?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would say is defensively. I think up till this week, we weren't playing as fast and as confident as I think we need to play. It seemed like we took a step in the right direction in terms of running the defense and commanding defense, like I mentioned before. Special teams, I think, has been a real positive. I think we've been really good in special teams in all 3 games. Obviously, there's still some things I think we can improve on, but I think that's been a positive. And then offensively, we've just been inconsistent. 3rd down, we got to improve on 3rd down. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And then we got to be just more explosive overall. We won the explosive play battle today. So that's a positive. And we actually met our mark of 15%. We were above that. But still, I think there's a lot more room for growth in that area. So we're 3-0. I'd love to see us further ahead. I'd love to see us playing dominant in all 3 phases. But we know the things that we need to improve on, and we got plenty of film. And again, this bye week's going to be important for us with a real challenge coming up the following week.
Rich and then Pickle.
James, how would you assess Drew's play through 3 games
Is he doing everything you want him to do? You alluded to the interception, and so I'm guessing that he's not doing everything you want him to do.
Yeah, on the interception, we had a missed assignment, and you just have to be careful. One bad thing happens, you can't turn it into two. You can't turn it into two. So we got to be better there. You know, when you talk about touchdown to interception ratio, he's one of the best all time in Penn State history. But we got to help him get into a rhythm, and I think the third downs is a big part of that. We got to be better on third down as coaches. Drew's got to be better, and all the guys on the field got to be a little bit better. So, you know, I know we'll attack it the right way this bye week, but we're not getting into the rhythm that I think we're capable of getting in, and third down is a big part of it. We were better today on third down, but early on in the game, we just made it more challenging and more difficult than it needed to be. We knew we were going to get what we got today, which was drop 8, which drop 8 can be challenging. He was getting good protection, but you're dropping 8 guys into coverage. You got to find windows and you got to find lanes. They did play significantly more 4-down defense today than they have ever showed on tape. Early on, we had to get an adjustment to that because we weren't expecting that. But we just got to get in a rhythm on offense, and Drew as well.
Pickled and Bob.
When you talk about rhythm, Coach, is there anything you can point to without having watched this film, of course, but over the first 3 weeks as to why you seem to have that for the 2-minute drills all 3 weeks, including today, and maybe not as much other times throughout the game?
Yeah, so again, I think third down has been the issue, like I think I've already addressed. But the 2-minute drills, I think, have been good to us. If you look at us, really for the last number of years, we've been pretty good at the end of the half in 2-minute drills. We work that situation a lot. It's a smaller menu of plays that we rep, and we work it every single week against our defense. So we've been in more of a rhythm there. That's one of the things that we got to look at, you know, that I brought up last week and I'll bring up again. Is what is our overall efficiency in normal downs when we huddle? What's our efficiency when we go no huddle? We just got to look at that and you know, make some decisions based on that. I did think we were able to get our outside zone going a little bit today, which was helpful for us. But I think you know, having a smaller menu and going fast and as much as we work it every single week against our defense, ton of value there.
Bob, then Tyler.
James, you mentioned the secondary and the defense taking a step today. It looks like King Mack, his role has grown on your defense. Could you just talk about maybe that role growing a little bit and kind of what you think he brings to the defense?
Yeah, it was starting for the fighting. Was fighting for the starting job. Did not win it during training camp. Belgrave had a really good camp, had a ton of turnovers. And then just the first couple games, we weren't playing as fast as we felt like we needed to. And as you know, the safety position and the linebacker position in this defense, there's a lot on those guys' plates in terms of communication and formation recognition and checks. And I give King a ton of credit. You know, a lot of guys, when that happens, obviously didn't transfer back here to not have a starting role. A lot of guys, when that happens, they kind of go in the tank. And he was the total opposite. He was in the building, living in the building, huge smile on his face as you guys have gotten to know King. Huge smile on his face, great energy, attacked special teams, was really playing well on special teams, and just worked his way back into it. And today, you know, I think he played well. We'll watch the tape, but looked like he helped us run the defense and play with, you know, more confidence. So I think there's still a step that he can take and we can take there. But more than anything, I was really proud of just how he handled it.
We'll go Tyler, then Todd.
Hey James, appreciate the time. I want to ask about your running backs. Going into the fourth quarter, Kaytron had 6 touches, Nick had 20. I don't remember ever really kind of seeing that kind of disparity between those two in the last 3 seasons. Was that a concerted effort for Nick, considering what you told us about trying to get him going earlier this week? And if not, what led to that kind of disparity?
Yeah, I know sometimes when the numbers play out that way, you know, it may seem like that or feel like that. It really just has to do with who's in the game. It's not like Andy, when he's calling the game, he's looking to see who the running back is. We got 2 running backs that we feel really good about. and we just call the game. And sometimes you kind of get into a situation where one running back is in and you've thrown the ball more, and you got another running back in where you run the ball more. And unless we're constantly tracking that, sometimes those numbers are going to get a little bit out of whack. But it's nothing. That was not a plan coming into the game. It's just how those drives played out.
Last question to Todd.
Yeah, hey, Coach. They may have a few more attempts than maybe you would like, but I want to ask you about the field goal unit and Ryan Barker and just that unit in general, the confidence you have in them, his accuracy, and then how that may play into some decisions that you may have coming up in Big Ten play.
Yeah, I think, obviously to your point, you'd like to score more touchdowns, and I know that's what Andy Kotelnicki's in there talking to them about right now. But these field goals that everybody kind of takes for granted when the guy just runs out there and trots out there on the field, they're gonna win us a game at some point this year. They're gonna win us a game, and that whole unit. A lot of times people focus on the kicker, but it's the snapper, it's the holder, it's the protection, it's the kicking, it's all of it. So we take a lot of pride in it, and they're doing a really good job. The consistency of that whole unit. I'm proud of him. Riley's another kind of example of a guy that's an unbelievable teammate who's holding right now. Was in a battle for the job with Gabe. Another guy that has handled things just extremely well and has put the team first. And I could not be more proud of him as well. But that's obviously an important factor for us in this game, and it'll be an important factor for us moving forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.